Hello everyone and welcome back to Affinity for Commander, where today we're swimming in a mistake so massive, Wizards had to ban a common to try and course correct. Now, energy in Commander is not as strong as it was when it first made its show-stopping debut in Standard, but free resources are still always powerful. So let's take a look at the latest energy Commander that might just well be the one to break the ether. Before that, as always, if you like any of the cards you see here in this video today, please make sure you make all your purchases through our fabulous affiliate links in the description box below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, it really helps channel out quite a lot. And as always, all prices you see here are provided by the fabulous sponsor of our channel, the amazing cardmarket.com. So let's start by taking a look at the commander of the pre-con themselves, Saheeli. Saheeli, a Radiant creator, is a 4/4 legendary human artificer for 1 generic, 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 red mana. She reads, whenever you cast an artificer or artifact spell, you get an energy counter. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 3 energy, and when you do, you create a token that's a copy of target opponent you control, except it's a 5/5 artifact creature in addition to its other types, and has haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, so firstly, we're already off to the races with that first line, considering there's already a lot of artifact and energy synergy going on here. But then we get to the fact of, and I must stress this, for 0 mana, create a copy of a permanent you control, except it's now 5/5. Oh, but you have to sacrifice it at the end step. Oh no. How terrible. Whatever will I do? Right, that's enough fanning about. Let's get into the actual deck. At the 1 and 2 mana slots, we're running a Retrofitter Foundry, as churning out tokens is going to be kind of our deck's thing, and then untapping any key artifacts is always a plus. Tune the narrative for flavorful cantrips, and Wanderlust, because I never said I wasn't a hypocrite playing this in an artifact deck. Now the 2 CMC, we're getting to have our cake and eat it too with Land Ramp in 3 visits, Nature's Law, and Farseek. But then we're also having artifacts trigger our commander's ability, even if we draw them later with the talismans of Creativity, Curiosity, and Impulse. With, of course, the usual arcane singing making its mandatory appearance well, which honestly I'm getting to the point now where I'm just going to stop pointing out that it's in the deck, the same way I do with Soul Rings. It's in the deck. You know it's in the deck. Now, we do have artifacts that do more than ramp. Decoration Module is just free energy, with also the ability to get back any killed creatures. Assaultron Dominator is more energy, with also the ability to dish out keyword counters or +1/+1 counters. And, of course, Sundial the Infinite to ensure we get to keep Saheeli's tokens for the rest of the game by ending our turn with this trigger on the stack to sacrifice them. We're running more energy-based cards in Aether Spike, Izzet Genitorium, and Aurora Shifter. For counterspelling, being a general great value piece, and just being a 2 mana clone effect, which is always really good. Add to this Royal Cartographer for more energy generation plus card draw, Loyal Apprentice for Thopters every turn, and finally Heroic Intervention to save our lovely artifacts from other people's very rude Wanderlusts. Up to the 3 drop slots, and here we've got mostly artifacts and energy cards, which it's kind of the main point of the deck really. Architect of the Untamed for landfall energy and a 6/6 payoff, Sai Master Thopters for more Thopters and card draw, Stride Automaton to work super well with our commander's ability, plus buffs our Thopters, which, I'm getting close to thinking we'll actually have enough cards to just make a Thopter Kindred deck at this point. Thopter Engineer, see what I mean? See right here? Is mainly here for the haste, if I'm being honest. Master of Ethereum to be a big beater plus a lord. And Unctus Grand Megatect is a lord which grants looting abilities, which is just really great value. We've got removal in Beast Within and Chaos Warp. A lovely counterspell in Electro Siphon, which is energy's answer to Mana Drain. And Simulacrum Synthesizer, a great way of building an army super quick by just playing more than our +3 artifacts, with the metal men getting bigger and bigger for each new artifact we play. And of course we're keeping in Pierre Nalar for the energy and artifact manufacturing, with our last 3 CMC card being Fabrication Module. It buffs our board, it makes energy, it's an artifact itself. What more could you ask for? Now up to 4 mana, and here we're in Definitive Artifact Goodness Town. But just before we get to that, we got our last few energy generators in Glimmer of Genius. Love this card. And Nissa World Soul for more land drop energy triggers, plus just once again paying no mana to just straight cheat something into play. Joyra, Weatherlight Captain, and Vidalcan Archmage are like 90% of the great draw in this deck. Master Transmuter lets us cheat out big things, and Padim, Console of Innovation, protects our big things, and hopefully acts as a nice little extra draw each turn. Now for more Thopter synergies. Efficient Construction and Thopter Spire Network get us Flyboys every turn, and coupling these with a Bident of Thassa as we are an attacking deck, that means we're claiming the skies and getting a healthy draw engine to boot. A Seeker's Chariot is also great for creating tokens. Urza's Command will most often than not be used to create that construct token, with the other modes all being relatively useful. And of course Solemn, because, well, it's solemn. The last few cards at 4 CMC are pure artifact value. Unwinding Clock for keeping up mana on other people's turns, and Pseudo Vigilance. Storm the Vault for those cheeky treasures, and then also the whole thing about, it flipping into a literally banned card in the format. And of course Panharmonicon, because we've got some pretty nice ETBs that Saheeli's tokens can also get when we double them up. And speaking of doubling them up, the last card at 4 CMC is of course Parallel Lives, because of course nothing says breaking a commander's difficulty like just doubling their ability for 4 mana on a green enchantment. Now at 5 CMC we've only got 3 cards. One in All Will Be One, a fabulous little red enchantment that just lets us passively melt away our opponent's boards and life totals, as energy is indeed counters that we are putting on ourselves. Not to mention all the +1/+1 counters we are throwing around everywhere. Gimbal for Artifact Trample, plus they also, make tokens themselves. And Stone Idol Generator, more energy, more tokens, just kind of hate the sorcery speed thing, but we'll look past that. Now onto the last few non-land cards in the deck. Ether Refinery doubles our energy production and lets us make fat tokens at instant speed. Gonti's Ether Heart is more energy and a super easy way to get an extra turn spell, especially when everything is an artifact with Mycosynth Lattice, a lovely 6 mana artifact that Saheeli loves. Then we've got some big hitters in Capo Cannoneer, who's here to swing in each turn for hopefully getting to upwards of 8+ damage every turn. Pyrewood Gearhulk to act as our answer to Kratos. They are an artifact and prime doubling target for Saheeli's ability. And Sharding Sphinx, a creature designed to facilitate my Thopter Kindred suspicions, but also to exponentially grow our flying army. The last 3 cards are Broodiclad, because turning all our Thopters into whatever Saheeli has made is, whilst incredibly risky as they're sacked in the end step, it's still a baller move and we'll just have to hope it pays off. Okay, so during editing, Martin pointed out this isn't how this interaction works. It's just the one Saheeli made as a 5/5, yeah, that gets sacrificed. But the ones we turned into copies with Broodiclad, yet they all stay 5/5s as whatever Saheeli copied. A great interaction, and just makes this card all the more broken. Darksteel Forge, because Indestructible is nice, and we can hopefully just cheat it out with Master Transmuter. And finally, Mycosynth Golem, which is just a 4/5, sure, but given every artifact creature affinity, is still insanely good. Now on to the lands, and yeah, there are probably a few you can guess, but there are still some lands in here that are quite unique for energy, and are a must. Ether Hub, obviously. Fomori Vault, which is honestly a great way of getting to our best cards considering the number of artifacts we'll have, and Inventor's Fair for passive life gain and tutoring, which is never a bad thing. And we're also running the single coloured artifact lands to help with the synergies of Affinity and cards that care about how many artifacts we control. Slap in a Spire of Industry for fixing and an Archway of Innovation to cheat out Darksteel Forge early, and we've got the unique lands for the deck sorted. Overall, Energy is still a busted mechanic in my opinion, but there just hasn't been that commander that really put it all together. Sure, some have tried, some even came close. But I think Saheeli finally cracks it. Paying energy to make 5/5s that are sacked at the end step, that's okay. Paying energy to make copies of permanents you control that are sacked at the end step, pretty good. Paying energy to make 5/5 copies of permanents you control that are sacked in the end step, now that's really good. Because again, remember, this is for 0 mana. You just pay the energy and you hold up everything for the Heroic Intervention or the Counterspell to keep your copies safe throughout the entire rest of the turn, or just play out more cards. Saheeli is without a doubt the single best Teamer legend to come out of Aetherdrift. Which, yes, I said it, and what? God, I hate you. And that'll be the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. What are your favourite energy cards to put in Saheeli? Let us know in the comments below. We read every single one of them. As always, all of for Commander content is made possible thanks to support of our amazing patrons. You guys are truly awesome. If you too like to become a patron of the channel and get access to exclusive EDH related rewards, then be sure to check out our link in the description box below. You can also support the channel in a few of the quick and easy ways: liking, subscribing, hitting that bell icon, and sharing this video on your preferred social media platform. But as always, guys, I've been Alex, and I'll see you next time.